All right, we're going live.
Yeah, go delete it.
There we go. You are muted, Nicole. And
I will unmute whenever you'd like.
there you go. I've got to go find the other video, and I have to go find the other video that I started. I started a second or a first video and accidentally. And so now I've got to go and like delete that one because it's, where are you? Live. Here we go. Delete forever. Okay. There we go. And hopefully they all figure out that it has moved, that we're elsewhere. Yeah, it's I've had a wild, crazy day.
Just with work stuff or everything?
Yep. Work, just primarily work stuff. So it's I've been thrown off my groove. So we're just gonna chit chat for a little bit until 8 p.m. if you don't mind. Just to like wait until everybody shows up. So how you doing?
Good. It has also been a day, but I kicked my husband out of the house for tonight, and the dogs are hopefully going to behave while we're streaming, and it should be good.
That's always the hope, right? That the
yeah.
that the pets are behaving.
I definitely know that working from home with 2 dogs for a year and a half-ish was less than ideal. But after a while, a lot of my clients just got to know my dogs, so it worked out great.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I think pets are better than toddlers that walk in while you're trying to broadcast on CNN. And mom has to come diving in to grab the toddler. It's one of the best videos online ever.
I've definitely enjoyed the live streaming mishaps with clients, and definitely the internet. My favorite one, just because my mom works in that industry, is the lawyer cat thing. That was really a thing. And then we had some of our clients asking us, like, can you make me a cat for our next broadcast? And I was just mortified. Like, you actually want to do that?
That's pretty great. We've got one of my coworkers has a cat who likes to crawl up on her desk and stick his butt in the camera, and he does it every third video. Like he's got his butt in there, like.
So he's like a guest presenter, or guest. He's like a special guest, like a VIP when he comes on screen. Yeah,
exactly. And he's all big and furry and cute, and so you can't hate him. But it's like, do I really need to see that?
Well, if anybody hears barking, just yell, "Knock it off, Roger," in the chat, and I'm sure he'll be able to read just for that split moment and behave. So
that's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome.
I saw Brad says his daughter got a new puppy. So what kind of puppy did she get? I'm always down to make new animal friends. My best friend's biggest thing right now is I got her these tiny little plastic like toy hands. And so she poses her cats with the little hands. So they look like they're either thinking or plotting or high-fiving. It's hilarious. I told her she needed to start an Instagram account for that. So
yes. Yes.
She's got a lot of time on her hands, obviously, but I love it because it makes me smile.
That is hysterical. Let's see if I can change this. Allow me to, no. I'm trying to get the live chat for the video. There we go.
Oh, Brad said that his daughter got a miniature schnauzer. That just sounds
Oh,
adorable.
that's awesome.
I imagine this little floof just walking around with a happy face. So they're just so little. Like puppies are just so little, and they put so much love in your heart for being such a small thing.
I like miniature schnauzers. They're fun. They're crazy usually, but they're fun. And I had a friend in high school that had a miniature schnauzer, and he always had the beard.
Oh yeah.
And they're just a ball of fun. What kind of puppies do you have?
They're mutts. Our
Awesome.
boy, he is 4, and he actually, before he came to us as a rescue, the foster family that had him did a DNA test because he's just so quirky, and they found out that he is Foxhound, Lab, Pomeranian, and Boston Terrier.
Holy mackerel.
He just looks like a really quirky looking lab. He's a very sweet boy. He's just got really high anxiety, and he's just the sweetest. And then our girl, his name is Matilda, and she's gonna be 4 in December. And she is like a pitty mix. She's really tiny, and she has like a really pretty white and brown coat, and she's just hyper like a pitty, but she's like the biggest love ball. She wants everybody to be her best friend. So she'll be really upset I did something on the computer where people could see her, and she can't be a part of it because she knows when I'm on a call. She'll just jump up on here and chit chat with whoever's on screen. So
That's fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic.
Brad, I love the dog names.
That is
Rita
pretty
and Marga. Together they are Margarita.
That is
I feel like then
fantastic.
you need a brother named like Corona, and then like Jose or Jack, and like all the names. That'd be hilarious.
Yes, that would be fantastic. That would be fantastic. Yeah, I didn't get inventive with any of my pet names. We had my very first pet that I remember was a black and white rat. He was about that big with a tail that was like that big, and his name was Schroeder.
Oh, that's a great name. I'm a little partial, but
so it was fun.
You could have went with the Peanuts characters theme.
I could have if I was that inventive, but I was.
With the litters, it's easier to do like all the names together. So if he had, if your rat had a bunch of siblings, that would have been a natural thing.
Yeah. We had puppies at one point in time. Our Basset Hound escaped, and they all came out like Labrador. they all came out looking like Labradors. So
that was easy to figure that one out.
Yeah, and they were all black, except for 2 of them. The one was black and white. He had like a white chin, and the rest of him was black. Nice. And then the other one was blonde.
Huh. Interesting. So there's always got to be one that just looks like a goof up.
Yeah. And our dog was also black and white.
Oh, so fit in perfect.
Yeah. So it was very, very strange. So, but crazy. All right. Well, it is 8:00, so we'll go ahead and get started. Nicole, do you want to introduce yourself? And then I'll ask you a couple of questions but before we get started, I apologize. I'm again disjointed today. Today's national days there were like 20 of them. National White Chocolate Day, National Legwear Day, National Online Recovery Day. I think we can all use one of those. It's actually National Girls Night Out Day. So that's fun. National Hobbit Day, National Elephant Appreciation Day, and it's the autumnal equinox.
Yeah, as of like
So-
3:40 p.m., it's officially fall.
That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. So I think we should celebrate by having an ice cream cone because it is National Ice Cream Cone Day today too.
That's only fair.
So good times.
I wish I would have got the memo. Sorry, I didn't bring ice cream on the stream.
Let's see here. So today's keyword is going to be elephant. So for later on tonight, when I say go, 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 you're going to want to type in elephant to get entered in to win the $25 Amazon gift card. And so that should be fun. And then let's see here. So Nicole, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm excited. I've not very often I get to be on the presenting side of any sort of live stream, so I'm excited.
Awesome. Well, that's fantastic.
I even went crazy and did all my slides and everything because I'm quirky and I can't do anything normal. So
Well, I'm super excited about seeing what you've got tonight. How long have you been entering sweepstakes?
I would say I'm a second generation sweeper. So my mom is the true sweeper and she has taught me her ways. And I think my first independent win, like one that I entered for myself, not my mom entered for me. I think I was like 10. So
Wow.
That would make it 18 years. So
wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty fantastic.
Yes.
That's awesome. So what's your favorite type of sweepstakes?
My favorite type, honestly, I do a ton of text sweeps.
Yeah.
They're so easy.
Yeah.
I spend a lot of time. I'm pretty creative. I work in the marketing world, so it's natural for me to do the creative contests, but it's almost like sometimes I have to be creative all day at work, and then the last thing I want to do is be creative when I get home. But some of my favorite wins have been from being creative, so I'm definitely not opposed to some of the creative contests, but
so that's my
definitely
next
more work.
question. That's my next question. What's your favorite win? What's your most memorable prize?
So when people ask, I always have three. It's my mom actually won us a trip to the Super Bowl my senior year. So while all of my senior friends went to Cabo, my mom and I went to Dallas, Texas for the 2011 Super Bowl.
Nice.
So even though that wasn't my win, I benefited directly from her win. So that was probably one of my favorites. I also, my first win on my own was a contest that you had to enter like a little jingle for Cuties Clementines.
Yeah.
And I won an iPod. And that was when I was 10. So that was a really big deal.
That's huge. Yes.
Yeah. And then it's a really silly thing, but I won a $500 Sam's Club gift card from Simple Green from an Instagram contest when I was like, I think 13 or 14. And I had posted a picture of myself on Instagram with a giant bottle of Simple Green because we use it to clean everything in my house, in my parents' house and my grandma's house. So that was the whole thing is I made a sign that said, if you want it clean, use Simple Green. And I had it's like a logo and it had my grandma's date of birth and date of death, my dad's date of birth and my date of birth, because I was a third generation Simple Green user. So they liked it enough for the grand prize. So I was excited. So
that is awesome.
Those are just like my faves.
So what's your biggest prize that you've won? Is that going to be the Super Bowl or have you won something bigger than that?
I mean, so as far as monetary value,
yeah.
I think if I'd have to double check, my mom would be able to tell you this. I'm pretty sure my biggest prize was a Mall of America gift package. If I remember right, it was like a $500 Mall of America gift card that I could spend at any stores at Mall of America.
Right.
And then there was some other stuff that came with it. And I won 2 weeks before my 21st birthday. And my mom and her best friends took me to Mall of America for my 21st birthday. So it worked out perfect because what 21-year-old doesn't want to blow $500 at Mall of America? So it was probably a higher value. I don't know. I've never paid attention, I guess, to the biggest prize per se.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, so tonight's topic is on Gmail. And so I'm going to turn it over to you and just let you kind of take over from here. So, watchers, viewers, if you have any questions, jot them down in the chat, and we'll keep track of those, and we'll ask those questions of Nicole. So Nicole, take it away.
Yeah. So a little bit of my background as far as the world of Google. I actually work for an AV company based out of my hometown that we travel across the nation. So we use Google as our suite for our company. So unofficially over the years, I have been the one that's trained in everything Google, whether it's Gmail, Google Drive, Calendar, anything like that. My husband always jokes that my whole life is in a Google Calendar, and if it doesn't exist in the calendar, then it's not really happening. So it's definitely something I use all the time. I've really found out over the years with how many sweepstakes you're entering, you're literally at some points getting thousands of emails per day. If you are a hardcore sweeper and you are entering contests all the time with the same email address, you are getting so many emails. Not only are you getting emails about contests, you're getting your emails about things you've won, and then you're getting all of the subscriptions if you've opted to subscribe for any of the email lists that you're getting. So I personally get hundreds of emails a day on multiple accounts. So I don't get them all in one place. And I was getting flustered with how I was entering more and more, but I was trying to separate my inbox appropriately. So some people live in inbox world where it's I call it inbox infinity, where your inbox has an unlimited amount of emails. And then some people are like me, where typically you like to live at inbox 0. I personally today did not leave my inbox at inbox 0 because I wanted to be able to show you guys what my filters kind of look like and how I personally organize things, just as a tool for something that you can try and you can adapt however you wish. But I've found it very helpful to myself, and I've been helping a few other sweepers since the convention in Arizona set that up for them. So awesome. You can giggle at the amount of emails I have, or you can say, wow, Nicole, that's not that bad. It just depends on your lifestyle. So in my inbox, you'll see all of these little rectangular tabs. Obviously, right, one of the first ones is an email chain that I have that I've labeled sweepstakes. So naturally, that's where I'm going to be referencing all of the sweepstakes emails that I get. You can see this is just since this morning. I haven't cleaned out every single email, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For me, that's a lot, because typically I see that it's something that I've already entered, or it's something that I'm not interested in winning, and I'll just delete it. If it's something that I want to reference back to, or it's a contest I'm going to be entering again and again, I'll keep the filter, keep it in my email, and I'll be able to reference it back later, because on the left-hand side of your Gmail dashboard, you'll be able to see all of your labels or filters. You can see I have a lot of them. And it's just like a folder where they're all in one place, and it keeps everything in check for you. And I don't feel like it's bad to have labels, because it's just helping you keep things organized. And maybe if you're not type A, that's not as natural, but I'm a type A personality where I like to have things sorted. And it's just a lot easier, like I said, to reference back. Right. So if I take the time to actually, in my inbox, if I'm taking the time to open every single one, that's probably going to be a little exhausting. Right. Especially if you're a hardcore sweeper, like I said, and you're getting thousands of emails every day, it's just not worth your time to check every single one. But I know, for instance, like this email at the bottom here, it legitimately says in the subject line, a big chance to win. So I'm going to naturally open up that email, right? So right. Why not check it out? I love when people send you emails and it's just with the contest. There's not a bunch of other crap in the email message. It's just the sweep. It makes your life so much easier. So I know, for instance, this is a comeback daily contest. So I already entered today. Okay. What I'm actually going to do is leave that label, and I'm going to snooze it until tomorrow. So I remember to enter again tomorrow.
Awesome. Okay.
Is that too dorky?
No, that's a great tip. That's a great tip.
So if you're not super Google savvy, you're probably curious how to actually set up your Google filters. I see Brad says he uses email folders. So I don't know, Brad, if you use Google, but there's not exactly, Google calls them filters because they're not exactly folders. You can surely drag and drop things there, but everything comes to your inbox typically at once, unless you set up the filters. I will do, Carl, I'm assuming you're okay with like a step-by-step
Go for it.
how to set it up. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So when you're in your Gmail, there's a little search box at the top and you can click the down arrow. You can search however you want as far as if you have an existing contest. I'm going to actually show you 2 different ways to set up the filter. If you go into your settings and you opt for see all settings, there's actually a tab at the top that says filters and blocked addresses. So this doesn't just apply to anything sweeps. This is where all of my filters live, and as will yours. So depending on what you want to sort out, I like to sort everything. Maybe you only have sweepstakes filters, and that's totally fine. I personally just lump them all into one place. So I will scroll to the bottom. So here is a plethora of my filters that are just for sweepstakes. In my inbox, I typically go about it 2 different ways, and I'll show you both ways. The first way is by phrases or words or subject lines to filter. So with let me show you this. This is kind of a good screen, and if anybody wants this, I'm happy to share it later as well. The biggest thing is to sort by phrases, like I said. So these are just some common phrases that you'll obviously see in sweepstaking emails. So there'll be either subject lines that say enter to win, congratulations, we're giving away, phrases that you normally see all the time. And it's something that even though Google won't catch every single email because it might be phrased a little differently, this is just a good place to start.
Right.
So in my inbox, I have every single one of these common words as a subject line. And then I also just have them for words in general. So Google, every time I get an email, not only does it search in the subject line, enter to win, giveaway, congratulations, what have you, it's also in the email itself. So maybe it just says something like new shoes available today in your subject line, but in the email at the bottom, which is where they hide all the good giveaways, it says enter to win a $2,500 shopping spree. Well, obviously, if it wasn't in the subject line, you would have missed that. For contests you've already entered, say for instance, you entered a Pepsi contest yesterday,
Right.
and you signed up for their emails because you want to obviously know about future contests, but you don't necessarily just want Pepsi emails. You can also add a filter to that.
Right.
So I will go back to my inbox. And like I said, you don't have to have every single one, but that's just me. In your inbox, when you're in the filters and blocked addresses section, you're spending time at this bottom feature here that says create a new filter. Not a lot of people have filters that they would import like from another email provider, that you can just ignore that. This create a new filter is where it's going to actually give you the option to add what you want. So again, say for instance, you want the subject line that says you're a winner. So any email I would get that has the phrase you're a winner will automatically be labeled with my sweepstakes label. After I select what I want the subject line to catch, what I want to catch in the filter, I'll click create filter. And then right here where it says apply the label, I will select out of all of my labels, sweepstakes. That way I know I will not miss it because it will be labeled in bright pink in my inbox, sweepstakes.
Awesome.
One other thing that Google also does, if for any reason you already have an existing email in your inbox that says you're a winner, it will suggest that as a matching conversation. So when you're setting up a new filter, it may say, oh, it may recognize you have an email that was from 3 weeks ago that also said you're a winner in the subject line. I always select this last option that says also apply filter to matching conversations, because just in case you like, what if you missed a prize?
Right.
You could be so sad if you missed a
Right.
prize.
That is a great tip.
I always select the last option. It definitely applies to not just winnings, but other contests you may have missed that slipped through the cracks in your email. So
Right.
I will create filter. And then the other way I'd like to kind of show you is basically using a particular message to create that filter. So I'm just gonna pick this one. So say, for instance, I'm skimming through my inbox and I notice that there's an email in there that says gaming monitor giveaway. Well, I'm like, okay, I could have missed that. I could have just clicked it and deleted it and it would have been gone forever and I would have missed a giveaway I might have been interested in. For this, you can actually select the message that you recognize. Hey, I want to make sure that I don't miss anything like that. Again, this specific sender or this specific subject line always sends me contests. I don't want to miss that. Instead of going into your settings and starting your filter, you can actually add your labels or filters right in your inbox, right in that message. So for this one, I will go ahead and I will label it sweepstakes, and it is saved as a sweepstakes. That way I know I will reference back, it will be there.
Right.
You could also, again, filter messages like these. So if I know, again, this person is sending me only sweepstakes, this will only be information I need to reference back to for future contests. If I filter messages like these, it will populate the sender's email address. So if this newsletter at vast.gg only sends me contests, great. Might as well slap a filter on that too. Right. So I will do sweepstakes. This says I already have 3 matching conversations. So I don't tell my husband, but I could have missed a contest to enter a gaming computer. That's grounds for divorce in our household. So those are, I would say, the 2 major ways to make sure you're adding appropriate filters.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Did you have any questions, Carl? I don't see any major questions coming up in the chat. I saw you answered KP's question.
So KP has, when you put in you're a winner, does that have to be in the subject line, as some put it in the message and not on the subject line?
You can do both. I think I have it set up as both, but again, when you're in this filters option, we'll scroll down and see where I have it. Or maybe, yeah, see, I have it as just the content, so you're a winner. And then I also have you're a winner as a subject line. Gotcha. So I have 2 filters for the same phrase.
Okay. All right, that should answer KP's question.
And again, you guys can giggle at how many filters I have. You can judge me, it's totally fine, everybody else.
So KP, please clarify, what are you asking to set up? Are you asking for help on how to set up Gmail? Is that what you're asking for help on? I need a clarifying question on your first one. Okay, so let's keep going. This is exciting.
Okay.
How do you create a label?
Oh, same thing. So labels are interchangeably a filter. It's Google's phrase because they don't use the word folders. That's a AOL, Hotmail, every other service provider thing. They still operate as a folder. Okay. For instance, I'm trying to give you a good example. So say, for instance, I have in my inbox all of these sweepstakes. It's like these. I can identify which labels are already on there. Oh, okay. So if I want to create a new one, then I just click create new, and that will let me create a new label. Okay, awesome. Correct. Yep. Another thing sometimes I'll do is if, for instance, I want to keep the message, but I just don't want it sitting in my inbox. When you recognize you've already reviewed the email, you can dismiss this label as the inbox, and it will still exist in your sweepstakes folder over here or filter, but it will not show up in your inbox. So it's just a nice way to kind of clean it out without having to delete the messages.
Awesome. Okay.
but then you'll also laugh because I have 9,672 that are still just sitting there, and things I reference back to that I don't want filed away and missing forever.
So when you said you get down to inbox 0, I was pretty impressed.
Yes, inbox 0, I should rephrase. Inbox 0 with new messages. Typically, this does not exist.
Gotcha.
This gives me a little bit of anxiety. So
I'm down to inbox 35, so I'm
that's
like
impressive.
super stoked. I had to declare inbox bankruptcy and just like
start fresh.
Yeah. Everything got archived because I was
Yes.
at like inbox 350 and I was just like, no. So
yeah, my mom with she's had the same email address, I think, since 1997, I believe, or 1999. And she's used the same email address for contests since 1997 or 1999 because she's been sweeping since the 80s. So when email contesting and sweeping came a thing, she was in hog heaven. It was great. However, now her inbox is a hot mess of crazy. So while she uses AOL, it's not as user friendly for sorting and things. I'm really hoping that in her retirement she will get to inbox 0 because I think she's at like inbox 30,000 and something. So. And KP, if you're interested, and Carl, maybe this is helpful to you, I can actually put my notes in a Google Doc, and you can put the link below in the description of the YouTube video afterwards. That way people can access it if they're interested.
That would be fantastic. Thanks so much.
Yeah. And I'm just kind of showing those phrases again. These are not just the only phrases you can choose from. This is just a really great starting point. And I'll make sure to include that in the list of suggested subject lines or content to search from.
Okay. Did I break something?
No, I'm reading through the comments. Beverly, it does not matter if you use your ISP for email. That's totally okay.
Yes.
You are not alone, I promise. And Brad, I'm just curious if you want to comment which email provider you use that still identifies them as folders instead of filters or labels. That would be cool to know, just for future reference. I've slowly consolidated all of my other email addresses into my singular Gmail account. So I have purposes for each email address, and they just come to one inbox, which saves my life. So I manage 9 inboxes. I can't do that all individually. I need them all in one place.
I actually have one window that has 7 Gmail tabs, and that one window always has 7 Gmail tabs, and it's like 1 tab for my personal and then 6 business related emails. So two of which are Sweeps Atlas.
Well, I was going to say, Google recently came out with groups for your Google Chrome tabs. So if you don't use groups for tabs, that's a huge lifesaver too.
So on the other side, on the other monitor, I have 4 groups, one for machine learning, one for a database, and then 2 for different programming languages. So
plenty.
Yes.
Brad, that's not old school. Outlook's totally okay. Brad says Outlook's old school. It's not old school. It's still a thing.
Anne Marie, inbox 30,445 would be a bad thing then.
Henry, I'm just gonna say that I really hope that you're okay with that, because that's not my life. So yeah, Yahoo, Kathleen, yes, Yahoo does use folders. I've also jumped off the Yahoo bandwagon, so I do remember Yahoo having folders at one point.
Yeah, I really like the label concept, because you can, they don't have to get hierarchical, right? You can have like crazy mixed up labels that, cross-reference each other.
Yeah.
And I can't really explain all the labels that I have, but they get tagged with a company, and they get tagged with, what's going on with that that email. So
Yep.
like it's very convoluted, but I keep my life sane by having 7 different Gmail tabs open.
Yeah.
Because like that way they're very, I don't have to go looking through my personal emails for all of my Sweeps Atlas stuff. And
good call.
Humorously though, I do get my Sweeps Atlas emails get forwarded to my personal Gmail account, because that's the only,
just so you don't miss them. Yeah.
Just so I don't miss them. But they get tagged with, a nice blue Atlas tag or label. Sorry. They get labeled with a nice blue Atlas label so that I see it and I'm like, yay.
Have you done a training on that before?
On forwarding?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. I was going to say that's a big thing too, is encourage. I'm really going to, when my mom's retired, I'm really want to encouraging her to have a separate sweeping email so she can keep everything separate, because it's just too much. So Lisa's smart. She says she unsubscribes. That is a God-given talent, because I am so impatient to go through and unsubscribe to emails. And I'm always paranoid, like I won't get the email if I want something, if I unsubscribe too soon. And I'm sure that's not how it works, but I'm paranoid. I don't want to miss a contest, especially if I'm a winner.
I'm totally with you on that. I'm absolutely totally with you on that. All right. Is that all you have for tonight?
For filters, and then did you want me to kind of show the Google Voice thing?
Sure, that would be awesome. Okay. Is that what you use for texting?
No, actually, I use my cell phone. I'm personally comfortable. I've had the same cell phone number since 2006, so I'm comfortable using my personal cell phone number for contests. My neighbor gal, actually, she is retired. She's actually getting into sweeping. This is her 2021 project. She never even knew it was a thing until I was kind of talking to her about it. And the only reason we talked about it was because she noticed my Arizona cup from convention, and she asked what it was. So it was a great opportunity. So thank you to, if any of the Arizona sweepers that organized the convention are on here, thank you for my cup and the green straw. It kind of looks like a Christmas cup. So I was kind of explaining to her the whole texting thing, and she's like, I just don't want to give out my number. I'm not comfortable with that. And I said, well, have you ever heard of Google Voice? Because she has Gmail.
Right.
And she said, no, what's Google Voice? She thought it was like some sort of convoluted witchy thing. And I said, no. I said, it's just it's a Google service that's available to you. I don't use it myself for my personal things, but I use it for a couple different nonprofits that I participate in. So let me screen share just Google Voice to see how it works. Yes, Carol, it was an awesome convention.
It really was. We had a lot of fun.
I'm not a hardcore sweeper, so I always attend as a guest and then just go to the banquet and let my mom go to the classes and learn stuff, and she has a great time, and we just always make so many cool friends. I've met so many cool, Carl, that's where I met you, so it works out great. So the screen you're looking at right now is actually a nonprofit that I'm involved with, and they use it for all things phone. They do not like using personal cell phones because then they have to worry about keeping track of phone numbers, and it's just a little bit too crazy. If you go to voice.google.com, it will ask you to log into whatever account you have, and then it will ask you to set up a phone number. So I'll kind of go through the basic steps of that. But this is just what the platform looks like. It is free to use for calling and texting. There are limitations. So it only works on a desktop if you use my Google Chrome, if you use the Mac operating system, if you use Microsoft Windows, and then it only has limited functionality on other platforms like your tablets and things. So definitely be cognizant of that. I usually tell people use Google Chrome, use Mozilla Firefox, Microsoft Edge or Safari. Those are usually the best ones to use for that. For So like I said, almost all the voice calls are free. Some calls to specific phone numbers in the United States, like certain businesses that are licensed in other countries and or calling out to like Canada. I know Canada specifically, it charges you 1 cent per minute. There's a whole list of rates on there, but if you're not calling anybody, you're really just worrying about texting contests or receiving a call about a contest that you won, this is perfect because people can
Right.
leave you voicemails and texting is completely free, which
Awesome.
free is my favorite price, as is it to most sweepers.
Yes.
So I think I can speak on behalf of sweepers when I say that. I was kind of scrolling through, a couple people put in messages. Did I miss any questions? Lori, I wish I would have met you too. There were a lot of people, so another time. Okay, so again, when you're on voice.google.com, I'll close this out. I'm actually going to set up a new one because this is actually a nonprofit that I'm working with right now. I'm on the board and we are just getting ready to set up our Google account. So again, this is as if I've never logged into Google Voice. I've never set up a phone number. Once I'm logged into Google itself, it just gives me this blank screen.
Okay.
Obviously, I don't have a phone number yet. So what do? In the settings function, it will allow you to claim your free phone number. So you'll opt for pick a phone number. And I'm in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. So I will type in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. And it will prompt me with different phone numbers that are available in my area code first. If for any reason, say all of their numbers in Cedar Rapids, Iowa are gone, it will just suggest an area code nearby. So something in East or Western Iowa that has a different area code. If it's free, it doesn't really matter. Maybe you're adventurous and you want a New York phone number. I don't know.
So here's the strategy that I like to use. I like to pick a city that is not my city, right?
Oh, okay.
And the reason why is I live in Florida and I have a Maryland phone number. So I don't know anybody in Maryland. So if I get a Maryland phone call, it's spam.
Yeah.
Straight up. Like if I get a phone call from Maryland, it's a spam call. I don't even answer. I don't have to answer it because I don't know anybody in Maryland, right? And if I do know somebody with a Maryland phone number, then they're in my phone book. And so their name pops up. And so, it's easy. Or they're going to leave me a voicemail and it's going to be like, oh, that's that's so-and-so. I need to answer that. So for personal phone numbers, if I was getting a Google Voice personal phone number today, I would get it from a different state altogether. That was something, goofy. Like if I'm in Florida, I would get a Maine phone number or, a Seattle, Washington phone number or something like that. And, pick something tiny, like some dinky little city that's in the middle
nobody's ever heard of.
that nobody's ever heard of, and get a phone number from there. That way, when that sucker shows up and it's, some weird, it's your area code, if I get a Florida phone call right now, I know it's somebody that is trying to get in touch with me for something that's important and I need to answer it because only people, the people in Florida that have my number, I gave it to them for a reason. So
Sure.
That's my strategy. It's just a spam avoidance, and you still get spam calls on, today. So like, that's the way I roll. So
yeah, no, that's smart.
I just wanted to throw that out there.
No, that's really smart. And honestly, I typically just like to keep everything easy to remember. So like, even when I'm picking a phone number, as long as the digits are easy to remember, like 4433 at the end or something that, like, if somebody confirmed your phone number, you could say, oh yeah, that's right. That's helpful to me because I used to be the type of, I can tell you my phone number from when I was 5 years old, but nowadays you have it's all saved in your phone. So if there's an emergency, you really got to rack your brain to remember that phone number. And I don't think I've ever had somebody confirm a phone number with me when I've entered a contest, but I typically, I would typically think it works. Lori Griffith commented that Google Voice may not work with all text to wins. I have not run into it in that issue. I've had a few sweeper friends that have used it strictly for sweeping for texting, and I don't think any of them have had an issue. So I'm curious if you had an actual scenario that it didn't work, or if that's just something you heard. Because the texting thing on Google Voice has been so easy to use. I can't get over it. And the fact is, when I have the Google Voice app on my phone, I just log into my Google account and it's there. I don't typically call back using Google Voice. I will call back using my personal phone.
Right.
When I'm getting those calls, I can tell it's somebody calling that number because it's coming through my Google Voice account on my phone, or pop up on my desktop that says it's calling into that number. Versus when I call them back, I don't care to use Google Voice. I'm comfortable. If somebody's telling me I win a prize, I will call them back on whatever phone is nearest me. That is a fact.
Exactly.
So it's definitely it's just, I mean, it's easy to use. It's not for everybody. Again, I personally feel like I can get away with using my personal phone. Not a big deal. So, oh, hang on, Lori responded. It's best to enter text wins on your own phone. Text the person called me, said it's great to answer. Yep, good call. Yeah, and that's a great point. If, for instance, if you don't answer on the Google Voice app and they leave a voicemail, and this is not just for Google Voice, this is anybody. If they don't leave a message and they just call to the next person, that's a lose situation for everybody. Whether using a personal phone, Google Voice, a third-party app, that just sucks. Leave a voicemail. Give me 10 minutes to call you back. I mean, think about radio contests. The whole like call in the next 9 minutes and 81 seconds kind of thing, or whatever the time limit is. At least give you some time. That's just not fair, Lori. I'm really glad you answered the phone though. That's a pretty good win.
That's a pretty good win. I love that win.
I hope you live somewhere. I was gonna say, I hope you live somewhere there's snow. Otherwise, that's real awkward. But yeah, Jeanster. Yeah.
Jeanster, like that is the Google Pixel call screening is a secret cheat code, like to life. It is a life cheat code of having a Google Pixel with the call screening. That is awesome. That's why Pixel.
My best friend has it and she says it's life-changing. So I think when when I get rid of my work phone in the spring, I want to request a Google Pixel. That's my next step in life.
And they've got a new one coming out in October that's supposed to be fantastic. So
nice. Okay, sorry, back to this.
Yes, sorry.
I love the conversation, but sorry guys.
We're nerding out on phones over here.
Yeah. So like I said, you'll go to voice.google.com, sign into your Google account. Obviously they'll say, approve the terms of service, what have you, and then you're going to pick your phone number. So you'll select your phone number and it will ask you to link it to an existing phone. That way it tells you want to be able to receive the messages. So I'm going to switch screens really quick. I'm not setting up my nonprofit one tonight. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I am going to add a linked phone number to my Google account. So this may seem silly, but I work in the Cedar Rapids area, and 2 hours west of us is a bigger market for my job. So at my job, I also have a 515 area code because that is the Des Moines area. And I want clients to think I'm in both places because I travel to both places very frequently.
Right.
So I have my Google Voice phone number as a 515 number, but again, it comes to my personal cell phone. So in that step where it asks you to verify, it is when you're adding a linked phone number. And if you guys if you saw that and you want to text me, go for it. From there, it will ask you to put in a verification code. And now every time somebody calls that number and I have the Google Voice app on my phone, not only am I getting the pop-up on my desktop, but I'm getting it on my cell phone, which I absolutely love, because kind of to Lori's point of missing the call, if I only give out that phone number for contests, I know that if somebody's calling me on there, it's either spam or it's a contest. And I would really like to take that 50-50 chance that it is a contest win.
Yeah.
So you can see, again, I'm already linked to my Android. I also have it here on the web. You can change this number at any time. What I always tell people, do not delete it. If you delete this phone number from your account, you're deleting your Google Voice account essentially for 90 days. Google locks you out. They don't want people to be switching phone numbers all the time. And that is just a little cheat hack that I've learned over the years. Google Voice has significantly become more sophisticated. And before, people were using it basically as like burner phones. And you can still use it as a burner phone, but some people are not, they don't think things through and they delete it. And then they try to set up a new one 30 seconds later. And then they realize, oh no, I can't get another phone number for 90 days. Well, this sucks.
Yeah.
So definitely don't delete your Google Voice phone number. Just transfer it to somebody else's account if you have somebody you want to share it with, or just change the number. Please don't delete it unless you're absolutely sure you do not want to receive any Google Voice messages or calls ever again. Excuse me.
Good to know. Good to know.
So in Google Voice, not only can you have your messages set up in voice, you can have them forwarded to your email. So if somebody leaves you a voicemail, you're getting that notice on your phone, you're getting that notice in your inbox, and you're getting that notice on your browser. If somebody sends you a text message, which I love, I get the text messages. I don't always have my phone on me at work. I have it on my person, but I'm not checking text messages because I get too many. So if I'm getting an email in my inbox that says you have a text message from this phone number, I will more promptly respond or check the message.
Right.
Just something that I prefer. Maybe other people don't care, but I like to have that message received and in a prompt manner. Another fun fact is my husband and I, at one point, we had a Google Voice phone number set up for, I think it was a party or something, where we both wanted to receive the messages. I also linked his phone number to that temporary Google Voice phone. So he and I both had linked phones to that phone number.
Oh, that's cool.
I thought it was pretty cool. You can also link a landline. Instead of verifying by text message, like I just did, it will verify by a phone call. So don't feel like, oh, I don't have a cell phone or I don't use a cell phone. You can still have a Google Voice phone number just with a landline.
Right. I think one of our users has that set up because they, like, their cell reception is so bad at their place that they have Google Voice to enter text to wins. And and because like the cell service in their area is so terrible.
Yep. So with the I'm trying to read through some of these messages, sorry. Oh, Lori, you're in Alaska, so good, you got those. I'm sure you get a lot of use out of the snowmobiles. Oh, so Lisa asked the question, so will those calls pop up on my Pixel and tell me they're calling the Google Voice number instead of my regular number? Yes. So two things. If you have the linked phone number, you'll always get it as a regular call, but you can also disable that. If you were to call, let me pull up my voice app.
Because there's a separate app for Google Voice, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
And actually, I was going to say, Carl, do you want to call my Google Voice phone number real quick and I'll show them the screen?
What's the?
I really want to make sure you guys are getting the full value of hanging out with us tonight.
I didn't write down your phone number, so I can't.
No, I have it. Are you ready?
Oh, okay. Yes.
515-650-3310.
Okay, here we go.
And you guys can call or text my Google Voice anytime because now you know how I sort through my messages. Okay, so right now I have the number linked, so it's popping up right here at the top of my screen like a normal phone call. So let me go in. Sorry, Carl, I'm declining your call. Don't take offense. I am going to unlink my phone number, which it might not let me because I just added it. It will pop up. Trying to find my screenshot. Hold, please. I hope I can find it. It essentially, I'm trying to be cool, but here it is. This is a screenshot of what your incoming call screen will look like. So it will say Google Voice call, and then it will have the phone number that which is calling you. So it will not look like a normal phone call if your phone number is not linked. It will just simply say your Google Voice app is receiving a call from that number.
Gotcha.
Does that answer your question, Lisa? Sorry, that was a slow response, but I wanted to make sure I was answering your question. Carl, what questions do you have for voice? Or do you use voice for your crowd testing?
I use all kinds of voice. Like I was one of the first users of Gmail. I was one of the first users of Google Voice. Like I've been a longtime user for many years. So
Perfect.
So if you want, you can send a message to the Sweeps Atlas Google Voice, which is, do you want to do that?
Yeah. What's the phone number?
918 937 9377. See, that's a memorable phone number.
Yeah. And yes, Rana, anybody can call or text me, because if I know who you are, I'll answer. If not, you'll just infinitely be in my voicemail.
And Rana's awesome. She's fantastic. She's a lot of fun.
I've never met an unfair, unawesome sweeper. So I guarantee everybody in this chat is awesome. Okay, so if you're going to be using texting in your Google Voice platform, whether it's on your phone, obviously it'll look a little bit different, but on your desktop, when you're in the platform, on this left-hand side, there's the calls option, the messages option, the voicemail option. If you're looking to send or receive a text message and you click on messages, you'll click messages, send a new message, and then you'll be able to add your recipients just like you're sending a text message or an email. So it's super easy. If anybody has a question, let me know, but that should be pretty cut and dry. Then I will send the text. Hey, everyone at Sweeps Atlas, AKA Carl and his wife that probably checked the phone. And it also notifies me on my phone, I have a missed call from Carl on my Google Voice app. So look at that.
Yay.
I love it. It's the little things in life, guys. So I hope that was super easy. I hope that everybody can get a little glimpse of how to use that tool. I don't feel like it was talked about at convention this year.
I feel somebody mentioned it in passing and then like off they went. Like,
yeah, I feel like somebody maybe asked about it in the group and I responded, but I don't remember who that was. So if anybody has more questions, I mean, I'm happy to share. So I will actually, Carl already knows this about me, but I'm a giant nerd. So I'm happy to connect with everybody. I work in marketing, so I'm on all types of social platforms, but with the sweeping world, I'm sure these are the top platforms you use aside from Facebook. Obviously, you can just search my name on Facebook. I'm probably the only Nicole Schroeder under the age of 30 with naturally gray hair, so you should be able to find me quite easily. But if anybody's interested, I typically tweet nonsense and contests. That's about it. Instagram, mostly dog pictures and contests. I'm a huge gamer nerd. My husband's gaming setup is actually behind me as well. So we spend a lot of time on Discord. And then of course, everybody in the world is on TikTok. So I mostly, again, have dog videos and contests. So if anybody wants to connect, that's how you get a hold of me. Corby 1988 asks, is Google the only one that offers voice? As far as calls and text messages, no, there are actually a few different platforms out there that are free that you can use. One that we use at work a lot for client projects is called Text Now, just textnow.com. That one's pretty user friendly. There's a couple others that are out there that I'm not going to name drop because I know they cost, but if you're looking for free options, Google Voice and textnow.com are probably my two top options. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Electro Sponge wants to know what games you play.
So I am a simmer. I play The Sims mostly.
Awesome.
I also dabble in a little Destiny, but I'm terrible. I also dabble in I I'll play Mass Effect, but that's not my game. So
Yeah.
my husband's really into PC gaming. I do PC game preferably, but he also has an Xbox, so sometimes I'll just play his Xbox games, and I'm terrible, so it's much more fun to watch people on Twitch. So
I play StarCraft 2
there you go.
and Animal Crossing and
Yes.
Gran
yes.
Turismo. Like
All right. Yeah.
3 of the most like non-related type
That's
of
okay.
games ever.
That's okay.
But I mean, I like racing games. I like
Yeah.
Animal Crossing is just so calm and cool, and I go fishing.
Yeah. There you go.
I catch all the fish.
I
And
love
then
it.
and then I blow things up in StarCraft and
There you
shoot people, shoot aliens with lasers.
Yeah.
So
Just makes you feel better. Yeah.
yeah,
I get that.
when you need to relax. So after a hard day of sweeping.
Yes.
So okay, let's do a giveaway. So type in elephant into the chat, and we will count up the number of entries, and then we'll try to find a random number and give away a $25 gift card, Amazon gift card, to a random winner. So much fun. I've got to pull up my random number generator over here and please only enter one time. Electro Sponge, I'm looking at you. So one time.
Do you have offenders?
Elephant. Electro Sponge got a little crazy last week and caused chaos in the counting. So he's being chastised this week. But we love all of our users, so that's tonight's producer was my daughter. She was helping me out because wife is having to do other things tonight. So thank you to my lovely daughter for being the producer tonight. And yep, we'll definitely do the annual subscription after this. So I forgot to close the annual subscription entries. I'm so naughty. Let's go do that now.
I do have to say, Carl, your tweets every day with the gifts and the memes do make my day. So please don't ever stop tweeting. Yeah.
Oh man, that makes me so happy. You have no idea.
I'm a huge lurker on Twitter, and I definitely have certain accounts that I'm more excited to get spam from than not when I log in. So definitely you are my top 10 for sure.
Awesome. That's so great. I have so much fun with them. So, okay, we have how many people are watching today? 30 viewers. Fantastic. So
thank you, 30 people, for putting up with us.
So let's see what we have here. We have the random number is 21. Woo! All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 is Marilyn Fields. So Miss Fields, please email me at admin@sweepsatlas.com and send me your email address that you would like to get your Amazon gift card. Yay. Yay.
Yay,
Congratulations.
Maryland!
Woohoo! Woo! Awesome. And I'm going to pick a winner for the annual subscription giveaway real quick. So that one we have 166 entries. So Rand 166 and 0. That's not going to work. What in the world? All right, 58. So I'm going to go to 58 here real quick. And that is Ali Sona. And she's going to win a $60 Amazon gift card. So I will send her a message and post that to the forums that she won. So Ali Sona and Marilyn Fields are the big winners tonight. Awesome. Nicole, I really appreciate you being on our stream tonight and helping us out and teaching us about Gmail. So
Yeah, thank you.
fantastic. And I hope you have a great evening.
Yes.
And everyone have a fantastic evening. And thank you so much for joining us. Click like and subscribe if you don't already subscribe to the channel. And really appreciate everybody watching tonight. So take it easy and we'll catch you guys next time.